Windows app development. I published around 15 to 16 apps in the App Store, but now there is no more App Store for Windows. It's been removed. I'm a hardcore kind of a Microsoft fan because even my website is msisgreat.net. If you look for msisgreat.net, it's my site. I bought the domain msisgreat, and all my tweets is about msisgreat #msisgreat. And you can follow my Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel which I usually speak about Power Automate and Power Apps because I do more Power Apps and Power Automate. I was one of the early adopter to do the Power Apps even before is like almost 8 years ago. I think 8 years ago, I guess, when Microsoft was releasing the Power Apps. I was one of the early adopter giving a feedback to Microsoft about Power Apps and Power Portal. So Power Platform, this is very common. Those who know about the Power Platform, these are the Power tools which you have for Power Platform, which is Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI. Extended screen. Okay. I'll have to move.
It's okay, sir. Not a big thing.
Not a big thing. Okay. Okay, so these are just the basics of the Power Platform which you see. There is nothing different here. Everyone was speaking about it from the morning, so not much of a change. Power Apps, low code, no code solution. Power Automate, you automate your solution based on your business process. We call it as a business process engine when it comes to the enterprise level. And most of the business process automation, earlier we were doing custom workflow, but now you can do most of the things using the Power Automate. This is Power AI virtual agent. This is again is the same Power BI, Power Pages. Okay, so now we think about how to become a Power Range or the Power Rangers. Okay. There are 3 main steps which you should follow just to become a Power Ranger. Just simple. Okay, just 3 steps. But going through that step is a big process. It's like it has to be in your mind to become like an expert for the Power Platform. How do you start? You start by learning. That is the first and fundamental thing, is that you should start learning your basics of what is a Power Platform. 5 years ago, or even I would say that 4 years ago, the content which was online for learning a Power Platform, it is very, very limited. But Microsoft has done a very good job of adding more and more content with the help of community as well. They have built up so many of the content around the Power Platform, which makes it easier for you to learn the Power Platform basics, just the fundamental basics which you can know. And there are so many of the resources. I'll go through one by one. The first and the foremost, when you start learning about any platform, is that you should have a sample of the platform which you want to have. There are several ways to start having a free version of the Power Platform, but my suggestion, or which I was using, is that I signed up for the M365 Developer Edition. So M365 Developer Edition is free. So I have added the URL here, developer.microsoft.com. That gives you a E5 license. It's a free license, E5. You will have 12 account. I think you can create up to 12 accounts, 12 free accounts. The good thing about the M365 Developer Edition is that they give you a 90-day of free trial edition. It's only for 90 days. Okay, whatever. Even if I'm signing up, it's for 90 days. And you'll have to give your mobile number. There is no credit card. You don't need to enter for the credit card. It's just a mobile number, but the mobile number has to be your authenticated number, because the OTP will be sent into your mobile number. So once you sign up for the developer account, you get Power Apps, Power Automate. Most of the Power solutions are free, except that Power BI and the Power Virtual Agent. Those are all not free, which doesn't comes with e-file license. But what we do is that once we sign up the M365, we set up our own environment. Like you can set up multiple environments for the dev, test, and the UAT, similar one which you do for any organization. I do my setup, and you on top of it, you just go for the trial of Power Virtual Agents and the Dataverse. Dataverse, you can create one Dataverse. It comes with a minimum of the 1 GB or 2 GB of the storage for your environment. You start using it. That is more enough for learning the Power Platform. Okay, that is the first one which you should start doing it. But apart from that, there are several other ways where you can get your Power Platform. So these are the other several ways. These are recently been added by the Microsoft on the Power Portal powerplatform.microsoft.com. If you go there individually, you can sign up like Power Apps. You can sign up for Power Apps. You can sign up for Power Automate. It depends on how you want to get familiarized with it. Okay. And once you start learning in, my suggestion is that you always start with the basic. Don't jump on too much into a particular topic. My suggestion is that you always start with the basic, very, very basic concept of Power Platform. And PL 900 is a good place to start. And to start with PL 900, learn.microsoft.com is the best place. Recently, I just completed my certification for PL 200. It was really tough one, but somehow I managed to do it. Okay, I don't know about others, but somehow it becomes like more tedious one. But to start learning about the Power Platform fundamentals, my suggestion is that you start with learn.microsoft.com and PL 900. You just browse for PL 900 and you can get the learning paths. You start completing the learning path one by one. By the time you finish all the learning paths which are there in the PL 200, you're already super duper Power Platform fundamental expert. Okay, you know everything about what is Power Platform, what are the things which are there in the Power Platform, and you are qualified for the next round. Okay, and I have just took a snippet of what are the skills which would be covered in the Power Platform, and these are the things. Okay, basically it gives you an idea about all the basics of the Power Platform. What are the components which are there? The next step, when you learn and then you want to you want to attain a next level, you obviously have to practice, or you should do more and more workshops. Previously, as I mentioned before, Microsoft don't had any of the workshops before, but now there is a separate program which is called Power Up Champion or Power Up Workshops, which is again under powerplatform.microsoft.com. I strongly suggest you sign up for that. It's again free. You can register. I am one of the Power Up Champion who would educate other people to learn more about the Power Platform. So what this workshop does, these are the workshops when you register and then it's free. There would be a timeline for it for each month or for a quarter. There are certain period of time where Microsoft will launch a workshop. These workshops are like conducted by experts. So you would start to learn by getting full lab content. So if you are learning for Power BI, there'll be a special session to learn about the Power BI, how the Power BI works and everything, including the workshop and some with exercises. By the time you finish these workshops, it's like you are into the next level from fundamentals to the intermediate, which means that you are specializing into some specific topic. Okay, it's like make.powerapps.com. I just go and create a new apps that is called fundamental. The same, you go to make.powerapps.com, create a new app, but your new app is targeting a specific business solution. Then meaning that you are entering into the next level. So now you are ready, you are getting ready such a way that if someone comes to you for a solution, you are ready to provide some solution for the Power Platform. So this is the intermediate level. Okay, so you are getting ready for that. And my suggestion is that I keep telling that Power Ranger for Power Platform, but my experience is that you cannot be expert in all the platform. Okay, you cannot be expert in Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent, and Power Portal, Power Pages. Okay, you can be, unless that you're spending more and more time doing more workshops, doing a real time, providing a real time solution, working on the enterprise solution on each platform, then you are expert. That is nothing that it is impossible. But focus on one solution or one platform, like for example, Power Apps or Power Automate. Um, Basically, Power Apps and Power Automate will go together. If you are using Power Apps, definitely you'll use Power Automate. But if you are using Power BI, it is not guaranteed that you will use apps or the Automate. Most of the time, people who are using the Power BI will tend to stay in the same Power BI unless there is a requirement that they'll have to integrate explicitly with Power Canvas app to bring in customization to the Power BI, which is very rare because people know most of the enterprise solution which I have been working for now. I've been working with uh, uh, very large enterprises. Two of my customer was very large enterprise. Very large enterprise people, they know what they are looking for in a Power BI dashboard. They are not looking for very customized dashboards. They know they have the data. They know what they want in the data, the report. So most of the time, Power BI solutions with the dashboard will be like very less customization. Only the niche customer or very picky customer who really wants to create a web portal solution inside a Power BI, they look customization, which is a bit weird. Okay. And Power Pages is a vast area. If you are choosing Power Pages, is like very vast. You will be like diverted into so many other things, especially when you are doing a Power Pages to publish some website. You will have to learn Power Apps sometime. Power Automate, you will not learn much, but Power BI most of the time, because the Power Pages web portal will have a dashboard and an app, mostly the Canvas app. So you'll have to learn juggle between these three when you are using the Power Pages. Power Virtual Agents is again a different topic. Uh, you can easily use the Power Virtual Agent, but the problem with the Power Virtual Agent is that you definitely should do AI 900, which means that you should know some basics of AI before start doing the Power Virtual Agents. Why? Because I started doing Power Virtual Agent directly. It's a fun, easy to do, pre-built model, entities, everything is there. But the moment you step into the enterprise solution and start providing solutions for people who wants to use the Power Virtual Agent, you will be struck. You definitely have to know all the jargons which AI people are speaking. It's like models. What are these models? Why you create this model? How the model works? How do you make the model to learn? What are the data you're feeding in to learn the model? You'll be like, I don't know. It just gives me some result. You cannot be saying that. Okay. So when you go into the Power Virtual Agent, you really have to do AI 900, which is fundamentals of the AI. You should definitely learn. Then jump into chatbot. Once you integrate into chatbot, that is again a vast area. People will be having more and more uh, problems using a chatbot. So you'll have to fine tune your topics, fine tune your question model, question node, fine tune your entities, fine tune your synonyms. I mean, it's a vast area. So when you do workshops, you will know what to target for. Okay. I will not go into PVA. Okay. To be frank, I'm not a guy who want to learn AI for now. Okay. AI is starting now. So I don't want to learn AI for now. Maybe in future I will. So it's a vast area. When I dive into that, I should go into some other basics and come back here. Okay. So my area is mostly into Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. Okay, these three are the core areas. Power Pages is good, but you'll have to learn more. Okay, I mean my experience over the Power Pages is that you should know JavaScript plus how the page is working. I mean, it's a different area. Okay, when I start speaking about it, then I'll. Okay, so now you are in intermediate level. How do you take it to the next level? Okay, and this level is completely depends on how you want to project yourself in the future. There are two different paths in taking it. Okay, one path, you become an expert and then want to do something else. One is the enterprise level path. Second one is about the personal path. What I am discussing here is about the personal path. Enterprise path is different. Why? Because your enterprise path is defined by your enterprise. Okay. Today you are learning Power Platform. You want to be a Power Ranger just because I'm getting a job in that. I don't want to speak about that. Why? Because today is Power Platform. In just 1 year, you want to be in Azure infrastructure. I mean, you go into a different path. Okay. So Power Ranger will not be your dream at all after maybe even after 2, 3 months. Okay. So that path is completely different. So if you want to be a Power Ranger on that path, then probably you should just do a certification. PL 200, you do PL 200, done. You are expert almost. Then your Power Ranger lifestyle closes there, and you become a expert in the enterprise. You're providing a solution, you're like excelling into your career. So that is a path for the enterprise. Come into the personal path, wherein you have a passion about the Power Platform, you want to be a Power Ranger, and as long as the platform is alive, Microsoft will not kill. You want to be a Power Ranger. So if you are taking that path, which is most of the MEP path, okay, we call it as MEP. Finally, I have the slide for that. So that path is different completely. So if you want to into that, then the next level is that you start interacting with the community, like us. Okay, like us, you start interacting with the communities. Uh, your mindset has now slowly has to change such a way that you are now an intermediate person who knows everything about the solution. So now it's a time for you to give it to someone. Okay. Whatever the knowledge you have gained, you have to give it to someone. That's how it is called community. So that's how the community grows. And again, to start where from the community is like global. It is not like just in Singapore, it's global. Again, you go to the powerplatform.microsoft.com. There is a community which is powerusers.microsoft.com. So you go in there, there are so many communities, you pick up one which your favorite topic about, like Power Apps or Power Automate. And there will be so many communities worldwide. And they are always looking for people who gives out knowledge. Like why? Because once you become an intermediate person who knows about the Power Platform, you start working on it on the enterprise solution, then there is a difference, clear difference of people who just have a theory knowledge and the people who implement it. How the knowledge is completely different because simple. Power Automate as a community, I know Power Automate. I read about Power Automate in PL 900 or whatever simple theory. Then I start speaking about it. That's it. Nobody will be like, everyone can do. Okay. But the clear difference comes between what you as a person who are passionate about Power Automate delivering a content with and others is that you start to put your experience and then start speaking about it. Like for example, the same Power Automate, when someone using it just for the community or just for just in a small theory wise, they just drag and drop few of the actions and then they're just going to showcase a simple scenario. But whenever I work for an enterprise solution, I might have faced so many of the challenges in using the Power Automate. Why? Because my experience with Power Automate, when I first implemented Power Automate, we just gave a solution of Power Automate to the enterprise. Okay. Then the enterprise throw in a, problem statement saying that, hey, my notification for this solution is not working. I really want some real-time notification. Every 10 minutes, I need to check my uh, backend system for some automation. So anything happens within that 10 minutes, I want an alert. We said, okay, it's easy. You just drag and drop the Power Automate. You already have SharePoint. You already have enterprise solution. We can just do. We did. And miserably it failed. Okay. Why? Because we don't know that Power Automate has limitations at that time. So we started to understand what was the problem. Then we really understood that, okay, if you are really using it real time for an aggressive number of times, there are things you should really consider. So those things we will start to give it to the community, saying that, hey, if you are using Power Automate, these are the things you should consider. These are the limitations. So that's how your experience with your knowledge mingles here. That's how the community comes in. Okay. So that you are taking to the next level. So as a Power Platform expert, you are now moving on to the last stage or final stage of providing a solution both in enterprise and learning an enterprise solution and giving it to the community so that other people in the community are start getting your knowledge. Okay. And if you are really becoming like an expert in the Power Automate or the Power solutions, the next thing which you would really want to do is that you really want to become an MEB. Okay. We, as an Microsoft valued professional, MEP stands for Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. Basically, it is just an award. Okay, it's not about any certification, or it is not about any anything which is tied to the certification. There is no certification needed for MEP to become an MEP. It's purely a community-driven program which is promoted by Microsoft. And there are several areas to it. But if you are a real expert on the Power Platform, there are certain ladders. Later, I'll show in the website how it has been categorized. But basically, if you want to become a Microsoft MVP on a specific, especially on the Power Platform, you follow those steps. Once you reach that level, once you mingle into the community, what you do is you start to provide more and more solutions to the community. The community will start getting feedback from you, and they will benefit from you. Once it has been getting benefited, then it's a time for you to nominate for an MEP. So the MEP, to become an MEP, you'll have to be nominated. You cannot be just become an MEP just by doing the community activities. You'll have to do for a minimum of certain number of months or a year. There is no hard specific stop, but you should be keep doing your contribution. Then someone has to nominate. The nomination goes through. It takes some time, 6 months, 1 year. We don't know. It depends on how much of the contribution you have done, and the contribution can be anything. It can be your blogs, your video. You can do anything as long as you share your information. That's it. So it can be anything like YouTube videos. That's why I have a YouTube video. I was doing blog. I was answering questions on forums, and it's like you need to take your time off from your existing work and your family timing, and you should really spend more time on it initially, or else it's very difficult. It's a very difficult process. But if you are passionate about becoming one of the community leader or a member to become too passionate about the MEP, you'll have to spend more time. You'll have to spend more time, and there is no certification. As I mentioned you, there is no certification at all. You initially, when I was a first year MEP, zero certification. I don't had any certification. Why I started with certification or studying about some courses that gives you a structured way of learning things. Okay, because once you, if you are providing a solution to someone, you definitely should know everything, at least some basics of everything in Power Platform, so that if someone comes to you for a solution for something like a Power Apps, which you are not much familiar, you would know what are the limits which you can go. Then you can advise them saying that, hey, this is the Power Apps advanced one. I'm not familiar, but go here and learn. That's it. Okay, something you can advise on. That's why I started with the fundamental, wherein you should know everything about fundamental. Then you dive into specific thing. So MEP is one of the award. And what are the benefits you get out of MEP, right? Because you're spending your time, and your valuable time can be spent properly, but you want something which gives you some benefit, right? The people is like, we are ultimately we are human, so we need some benefit. There is a special benefits which are listed in the Microsoft site as well, meb.microsoft.com. One of the benefits you would have is that you would get M365 licenses, Azure subscription, and on top of it, there will be third-party benefits as well, which are all listed in the site. Like one of other third-party solution which I can think of is like Camtasia. If you are MEP, your Camtasia license is free. So I used to create videos using Camtasia, but now Clipchamp has Microsoft has activated Clipchamp. I don't know that champ. So that again comes with essential licenses. So you would get more and more software licenses free, and also ReSharper. So Brainstorm. I mean, so many other third-party softwares which will come if you are MEB. Okay. And apart from that, once in a year you get a chance to travel to Microsoft Office headquarters. And again, it's all depends on how the things goes on. Like, okay, it is not a mandatory that you will travel, but there are benefit for you to travel to the Microsoft headquarters, and you have a chance to meet with Microsoft experts. Okay, one of the other passionate things about the community is that once you start getting to know more and more about Power Platform, you get to interact with experts. Like, for example, I really want to meet one of the Power Platform program manager. Okay, because program manager and the product manager are the key guys within the Microsoft, and you really want to be with them and interact with them. So that is one of the key thing which drives the MEB program. The other key aspects of the MEB program is that you get to give a feedback to Microsoft product team. Okay, you're directly speaking to a product manager who's developing a Power Platform solutions. Okay, either your feedback is like been heard or been validated, but still you have a great chance that you meet a product manager directly and then speak with them and then give a feedback. Okay, your feedback sometime will be valuable. It may be very simple one, but it is valuable. That shapes the product. Okay, so that is a more critical thing for MEP. So these are the benefits which you can get for the MEP programs. Apart from that, other benefits are also there, which is like if you are MEP, like we arrange some events, meetups. So we prefer MEP to come to be the first preference, and then they can speak about it. So other passionate thing which I usually do is that I try to apply as a MEP. I try to apply to speak in other region. If the other region people conducting an event, if they have a budget, they'll sponsor you to travel. Okay, travel and then speak. So you can travel to many places and then speak and then try to contribute your knowledge to other regions as well. So with that, I have been before COVID, 8 years back, I traveled to Sweden as well to speak about SharePoint in European SharePoint conference. It was like everything was sponsored. Okay, and you should be an expert in certain areas so that your topic has been selected and you'll speak. Similar with Microsoft Ignite. I've traveled 5, 6 countries in Microsoft Ignite when previously when Microsoft Ignite was in for all region like Johannesburg. I went to Johannesburg and I fulfilled one of my other passion, which is like Safari. I went to the Safari as well. So everything has been sponsored. So it depends on how your event happens and the event organizer, and it's all like it is not a mandatory, but it all depends on the event organizer and how good you are in the event. Okay, and it is not. These are all small benefits which you get out of MEP. And some of the MEPs, if you are traveling, you get to meet best of the experts, and those experts will connect you to some other experts as well, and that will grow your expert areas, and you will have a social networking with all these experts. Think of like 1,000 or 2,000 plus MVPs, core experts in a one place and discussing about things. You will be like mind blowing and brainstorming session, and that 1 week of that activity is like you will learn so many things. Okay, it all depends on how passionate you are and how passionate you to become a Power Platform expert. Okay, and it is all completely a personal thing. And whatever I'm mentioning about these are the personal thing which is about the MEP life. Okay, so that's how the session is about. I don't want to speak more technical in it. That's why I was thinking to take some intermediate session, which is to how to become an MEP or how to become an expert in Power Platform. Yeah, that's all.
I can share this slide with us because since you have already captured all these URLs nicely.
Okay, I can. Aro, where do I upload? Yeah, I can share the slide, not a problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Good question. Um, Good question. The question is here is one of the Singapore audience here, which out of the Power Platform components, which one is the most wanted, and you would easily get a job out of it. Okay. This is kind of a tricky question, but from my experience, 2 years back, if you are very good in Power Apps with SharePoint connecting data and linking the business process with Power Automate, that was hard selling. I would say that before COVID, not even 2 years back, before COVID. Before COVID, that was one of the key hot areas. Most of the enterprise customers were looking of creating mini micro apps, like HR department will look for leave application. Because why? Within the IT department, if it goes through IT process, it will take 6 months to 1 year to just do one leave application. But they suddenly want an application just tomorrow. Okay. So at that time, Power Apps, Power Automate, and SharePoint list. That was hard selling before COVID. Now, Dataverse. Anything to do with Dataverse is hard selling with Power Apps, Power Automate. If you have D365 experience, that is ultimate. You're a star. Okay. Yeah. So D365 is coming up for enterprise customer. And why D365? Because you need to have a functional knowledge, not just the Dataverse. Dataverse is easy to learn. It's just SQL. But you should have a functional knowledge. If you are going into D365, you have to really pick up one of the key areas, like whether you want to do F&O or finance or retail, or you have to choose one. You have to specialize in that because they need the domain knowledge plus your Power Automate. But if you are choosing that ladder, which is D365, Power Automate and the Power BI are the most widely used. So you should know more on that because they want to visualize the data and they want to do the custom business process. So it depends on the customer. But in general, Power Apps, Power Automate is always hard selling in the enterprise. But again, this is purely my thinking. But other people might have a different view. How to learn D365? Yes. D365, to be frank, I'm not the expert. So probably you'll have to approach some of the experts here. MEP guys are already here, like Jiva or Dharani. Those guys can comment.
Hey, Jiva here. Can you hear me?
Hi, hi. So if you want to learn D365, right, there are different materials are there. If best way, I will say to go for Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn has different learning paths. Okay, so you look out for, we will post the learning paths in our Power Platform Classmates handle. So you follow the learning paths that will give you step-by-step learning actually. How to learn D365. Again, D365 also it's a vast subject. If you want to learn D365 customer engagement you want to learn or finance and operation you want to learn. Customer engage also it has a lot of things, sales, service, marketing, field service, all those stuffs are there. So you have to follow specific learning path. Accordingly, you can proceed with learning on a specific technology. Okay, just look out for the learning paths. We will post the learning paths for you. Is it fine? Hope this answers.
Launching D365 power events.
Where is that question? Or duration when the Microsoft launching D365 and Power Events.
So maybe you want to elaborate your questions. D365 power events. If you want to turn on your mic also, that will be fine. We can answer this question.
Basically, if you go to this event, okay.
You are saying power up events, is it?
Hi, Milind here. Actually, I'm expecting the answer. When the Power Apps are launching their events, there are some certain months they are publishing or they come up with the updated versions and this information.
Sorry,
It's basically updates. Basically, it's a Power Apps updates year to
oh,
year.
updates. So you want, if I understand your question, you want to know how to know that any updates are coming, is it? So
Yes, yes. There are some certain months they're publishing their events.
okay. So there are actually, as per my understanding, there are web releases. I understand each quarter Microsoft publish actually. There are release planner is there. There is a website. I will post in the chat window. So
Okay.
you will see that planner actually what Microsoft is releasing. So you can know from there actually on their release plan. So basically you put in a like in a mindset each quarterly it release in webs. Okay. That's why we say this is release web. It's very good session this morning actually on this provided by Heather. She was saying actually how the release waves are coming. Okay. So you look out for release waves. This is how normally releases happen. I will send the link of the website. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yep. I think
Okay. If any other questions? No. I don't know how many I can get, but I can try. But only for the fundamental course, all the fundamental 900, AI 900, PL 900, but I can try because we have our own channel to ask for, but I don't know whether it can be granted. So I can try. Fundamentals, not any, no, 900, only 900 course. Free voucher.
Free voucher. By using that, I completed 2 of my certifications. Okay. So the funny part is there is a bug over there. Okay. If you are visiting multiple certifications on single day, you will be able to do it. Maybe let
Yeah. Guys, we have another one sponsor event happening. So AIA, you want to say something here?
okay. So
I'll
thank you.
disconnect.
Yeah.
You